The judge are next.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. It's the quick thinking act cops are calling heroic. Listen to this.
Can you hear this in the background?
Is that him? He's back?
Yeah, it sounds like he's running around out here.
Okay.
And that's a gunshot.
Well, police say those gunshots fired by Matthew Vaughn, screen left, stopped the Oklahoma beheading suspect, Alton Nolan, from hurting even more people. So, with yet another example of how guns save lives, why does President Obama and his administration continue to wage a war on the Second Amendment? Joining us right now is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, when we started telling this story about how this guy allegedly beheaded one person and was in the act of beheading the second person, when the president of that company came in and shot him twice,
yes,
I said, that guy's a hero. But I don't see any other stations covering this.
Put aside the philosophical, the constitutional, and the legal arguments about guns. That guy is the president of the company. He's wearing a uniform he wears part-time as a part-time sheriff's officer.
Right.
So as a part-time sheriff's officer, he's licensed to carry a gun. By the way, in that state, it's very easy to carry a gun.
Oklahoma.
He learns what's happening at his place. The police are miles away. He goes out, he sees one of his employees attempting to slaughter another one of his employees.
Right.
He shoots the slaughterer and saves the other potential victim's life. So put aside the philosophical arguments about guns for a moment. The practical argument is, and those of us who support the right to keep and bear arms have been making this for years, it finally is crested now in public view. More guns equals less crime. Why? Because the bad guys fear reactive violence from the victim or someone around the victim more than they fear getting caught. They all think they can get away. But if they think the victim or someone around the victim has a gun, that will give them pause or it will at least stop them in their tracks, as happened here.
How many times have we had the conversation on this program where after a horrific shooting, regardless of where it was, a movie theater, a school, a shopping mall, something like that, if somebody just would have had a gun and taken a shot at the shooter, that whole thing might have stopped sooner?
Hey, if the pilots of 9/11 had been allowed to carry guns, as some of them now do, that awful tragedy might never have happened. The problem is the President of the United States, who's doing everything he can administratively as the chief executive officer of the federal government and attempting to now get us to enact a treaty to make it very, very difficult to carry guns. He's told doctors, ask your patients if they have guns. He's told the states, ask people when they get registered for guns what their race is. What business is it of the government what race
Is that just to intimidate people?
It's to intimidate people out of getting guns because the president believes that he and the government, and all logic defies this, can keep us safer than we can keep ourselves.
So if Barack Obama could, he would ban guns in the hands of everybody except the police.
He has made that patently clear. But his problem is the Second Amendment.
Surely.
And the Supreme Court interpretations of it.
You know, you just go back about a year and a half ago, in January of 2013, there were 23 executive actions. You know, that's the stuff. He's got a pen and he's got a phone, which he did his best to try to limit the uses of guns.
Oh, well, these things that I've mentioned to you, the states now have to collect
23 in 1 month.
Yes, the states now have to collect racial information. Doctors are supposed to ask you if you have a gun in the house. He ordered that. It's not in the law, and it's not enacted by the Congress. It's a decision made by the President of the United States through the powers that he has abused.
So the takeaways from what happened, the horrific murder down in Oklahoma at the Vaughn Corporation. Number one, that guy, you know, the big question is, was that guy inspired by ISIS or extremism to behead that woman? The other is that perhaps the president of that company stopped other people from being killed because he was armed legally.
If more people were legally armed, there'd be less violence, period. Whether it's monsters trying to destroy us or whether it's a crackpot in the workplace or a nut job on the street.
All right. Judge, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Steve.
All right. 12 minutes now before the top of the hour. There's no gun debate here. If you want a discount, you better bring a gun. The restaurant that wants its customers packing heat. You got to feel nobody's going to try anything.